All right, we're doing a quick hike here at HoneyBee Park. There's some Indian petroglyphs if you go far enough. Pets are allowed on this trail, which is kind of cool. New trail and dam. Really good example of a barrel cactus right there. This thing's huge. What are we doing, Daniel? Hiking, yeah. My son has very few words, being autistic, but I'm blessed enough that he has enough speech to tell me what he wants. But his passion in life is hiking and camping. Wow, check that out. That is, I don't think I've ever seen this. This has got to be the dam. Look at that. My son likes dark spots, so this could be interesting. Careful, okay. Let's go check it out. Down in the wash here. Wow. Pretty cool canyon. We're not gonna go very far today with the sun setting, but it's always great to get out a little bit. We spent the last couple weeks over in the California desert of Joshua Tree and Death Valley in the Sierras, Eastern Sierras. That was awesome camping and hiking. But back here now in Arizona, I try to get some exploration done at least on the weekends until we do our typical trip north in the summer up to Montana, Wyoming. Might even go further this summer. I'm not quite sure yet. And venture up into the Canadian Rockies. So we'll have to kind of play it by ear and see how schedules work. Really good view of where the wash is opening up here. So we have Arizona washes where the water comes down during monsoons in the summertime in Arizona and fills these things up. But you can see out in the distance there, that's Pusch Ridge. Awesome hiking on Pusch Ridge. You can climb the peak right over top of my son's head called Pusch Peak. It's a 2,700 foot elevation gain over 2.25 miles. You have fun, Daniel? Yeah. That's a great hike. Very, very steep though. You're almost on all fours in spots. The trail's not well maintained, so it's more of a social trail. But off to the left of that is the Catalina Mountains, but very top up there is Mount Lemmon. That's over 9,000 feet. So if you're in the summer here in Arizona, you can get a reprieve up there in the Sky Islands. Really nice day. It's probably in the 50s, 60s, like I said earlier, but can't beat this weather for hiking. January in Arizona, New Year, I mean, gorgeous weather. It's the beauty of Arizona in the wintertime, so let's keep going. You can see how sandy a wash looks like. Actually, a really good view of top of Mount Lemmon in the Catalina Mountains. And like right over top of my son is Pusch Peak. So let me know what your view is of rock cairns. Someone spent some time putting that one together. Not sure what the purpose of that one is. A lot of them people use on trails with water crossings and stuff like that. They are actually kind of handy here when you get grassland and stuff and it gets very overgrown. So, but yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of rock cairns. Are they good or not? I know a lot of people are anti-cairns these days. My son's shooting up this wash here pretty fast. Well, I guess those rock cairns meant something, because we got off trail in that wash, which I'd rather hiking actually. The main trail's over here we found looking at our GPS maps, but you're right next to all these houses. I'd rather be in wash, but did find the trail. A lot of new homes. Very good example of cholla cactus, barrel cactus. Cholla cactus actually can be taller than you. You can see against my sun there, walking between some. Really not a plant to mess with. A lot of people walk with pliers in Arizona because they get tangled in one of these. Or if you ride bikes, you see the bike trails on this path here. You wipe out, take a spill on one of those cactus, you're not doing so well. Not many swirls down here, which is interesting. I always like looking at the desert flora. But yeah, it's odd. There's no swirls. Kind of missing down here. Very odd. See this mesquite tree here, the thick clumps. That is known as mistletoe. It will eventually kill wherever tree host it's in. So it's actually a parasite. It eventually takes over the entire tree and kills it. We're under some power lines here. Looks like the loop back is right up the wash along the power lines. It's kind of interesting. See the bikes taking the trail that way. But we're losing sunlight fast here, so we're heading back towards that dam. I'll try to give you a better view of it as we try to get back. Get a couple miles in real quick before the sun goes down. I do a lot of wildlife photography on my channel when I get a chance. Typically from the summertime up in Yellowstone, Glacier, Grand Tetons. What's your favorite national park to explore? Those big three are some of my favorite. I think Glacier is probably my favorite of all time. But I love Yellowstone, Tetons as well. Can't really go wrong with either of those. I used to drive through the Grand Tetons heading for Yellowstone a couple times a year and not really spending much time in the Tetons as an afterthought. But the last 6 or 7 years, man, I've spent more and more time in the Tetons. Now to the point where I almost spend more time there than I do in Yellowstone. So don't overlook the Grand Tetons if you're going that way. Well worth the stop and to explore. And you put some more videos out, some of my adventures up there. But let's keep hiking. Let me know what your favorite national park is. I'd be curious. Really appreciate everybody watching the channel. We're gonna make one last stop at the dam. Try to give you a better picture of what that looks like. And then call it a day. Find some other adventures. I'm gonna try to get some videos posted in the coming weeks of the Joshua Tree in Death Valley, some of the adventures we did there over the winter break. Just to share with you that, and awesome parks themselves, but nothing like the big three I call Grand Teton, Yellowstone, and Glacier. So let's keep going. If you do come out here, pretty hard to get lost actually if you use your GPS maps or whatever app you use, but it's in the wash, so You just follow the wash, it takes you kind of right back to the trailhead. So the dam itself is up in that little cliff area, the canyon. So that's where we're heading. Let's get you back up there. Starting to lose the sunlight. Still very odd to me why there's no swirls down in that lower section. But you look up on the hillside here, as we go back into the canyon of HoneyBee, the cliffs, tons of swirls. Those got the last light of day on them. It's kind of cool. Pretty crazy. This way, Buggy. That way to the petroglyphs. We'll do that some other day. Yeah. But the dam, pretty awesome. They must have used this for a watering hole for the livestock someday, back in the time when we had ranchers around here. No. Appreciate you guys watching my channel. I'm approaching 10,000 subs, which is crazy. I started the channel about 3 years ago, not quite 3 years ago. So for those out there that like hiking, backpacking, camping, do a little bit of RVing even, national parks, exploring, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. So I appreciate everybody, and until our next adventure, thanks for checking out my son and I as we explore the United States. You had fun? You had fun hiking? We beat the sun. Pretty small parking lot.